Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like yeah, 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot key strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, roll with the marijuana. Waking up with the future, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packets. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang. Hey, making profits. We some sniper.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. We're here with you guys for Nvidia earnings. We've also got Salesforce earnings. We got Pure Storage. All three companies that I own in my long-term portfolio. We're getting all of the earnings here today. We're all excited. The earnings that everybody's been waiting for. It's Nvidia. Nvidia's now for the last several quarters has been the single most important earnings release of the season. And today is no different. This quarter is no different. We got some news actually right before the close today about some more restrictions on not necessarily the semiconductor producers and manufacturers, but we got some new restrictions on the software companies that have the designing software for those chips, like Cadence, Synopsys, just to name a few of those stocks trading down 10, 11% on the back of that restriction, not being able to sell that software into China. And that's got markets headed back to the downside. We're going to go over with you guys. I'm going to cover Nvidia earnings as soon as they come across. We're also going to go over with you guys Salesforce earnings and everything else that we've got cooking here. We have a couple of minutes until Nvidia earnings. Salesforce earnings are out. I'm going to give it to you guys all. I'm going to go through the lay of the land. I'm going to go through the rundown and talk about how we're going to make money tomorrow. That's the most important thing. We'll cover the earnings, and then I'll give you the game plan, what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't come into earnings with positions. I'm not long Nvidia. I'm not short Nvidia. I don't have calls. I don't have puts. I wait for those earnings to come out. Then I will make a determination what I think the stock's going to do for the next couple of days. And then I will position myself after those earnings come out. That's the higher probability play. I like high probability. I don't like coin flips. That's how we do it. I'll give you my exact game plan of how we're going to trade Nvidia tomorrow and then also into next week and over the next couple of days. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you guys did not know, we are the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Award recipient for Best AI Analysis Tool. If you guys are looking for AI tools, AI trading assistance, look no further. There is none other that will be able to say that they are the recipient of a Best AI Analysis Tool. There's my business partner and I actually at the Global Benzinga FinTech Award ceremony up on stage receiving that award. It's a real honor to be recognized by the industry for what it is that we are doing, implementing AI into our platform and the retail trader. That's why we have partnerships with Benzinga. We have partnerships with the NASDAQ, partnerships with Unusual Whales, partnership with TradingView. It's nice to see industry leaders recognizing us for what it is that we're doing, implementing AI into the platform. Thousands of our members use it every single day to help them make better trading decisions and most importantly, to help them to make money. But listen, TTG is not just about awards. They're nice, but it's about being part of the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing, something literally for everyone here at TTG. I know what many of you might be thinking if you're not a member of TTG and if you don't know who I am, maybe you just landed on this live stream because you want analysis of NVIDIA earnings and you're wondering why you should listen to anything it is that I say. It's not because there's a cool little statue behind me or an even cooler painting above me. It's because I began my trading career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, my first job at a college. I was trained by professionals. They did not let me touch $1 of the fund's money until I went through their training program. That's how I got my start. That's how I learned. And then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries, truly a global community here at True Trading Group. If you're new, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, and my goodness, make sure you turn on your notifications. Do not ever miss out on any of these live streams. I go live 6 days a week. I give you guys trade ideas, market commentary, analysis. I tell you positions I'm in, positions I'm getting into. I don't talk about what happened previously. I talk about what I think is going to happen moving forward so we can best make money from it. All right. With that being said, welcome to the TTG live stream. Let's talk about what we've got cooking. We got some trade ideas that I'm going to go over with you guys for tomorrow. We've got positions that members and moderators in True Trading Group are already in. One of them is paying wonderfully today, which was Coinbase put options. That was a big win inside of chat today on the back of a pullback on Bitcoin and all the hype surrounding the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. A little bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. Bitcoin has pulled all the way back in to retest that previous all-time high breakout. I'll just pull up the ARCB just to show you guys here real briefly. You guys can see here. Let me draw this line up. There was the breakout of the previous all-time high, and now you pull back in to sit back and retest that level. This area's got to hold 107. 108, that area's got to hold on Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're susceptible to a pullback into the low 100s, maybe like 101, 102. And that could take Coinbase and MicroStrategy and Mara and Robinhood and GameStop and all the others that are simply plays to crypto. Could take them lower. This is a major test of that previous resistance, now wanting to see if it becomes support. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin in the overnight session. We'll take a look at Bitcoin tomorrow to dictate what we want to do with regards to those positions. But let's talk about Salesforce first. They already came out with their earnings and the stock feels stuck. The stock feels stuck underneath a key resistance level, which is also the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders. It's a decent looking chart setup if this stock can clear 295. The earnings are actually pretty good here for Salesforce. I'll give them to you now. There's a beat on earnings per share. Okay, $2.58 versus $2.55. Sales also a beat, $9.83 billion versus $9.75 billion. They also see Q2 earnings per share 180 to 182 versus analyst expectations of $1.71. They see sales of 10.11 to 10.16 billion. Analysts see 10.01 billion. So that is a top and bottom line beat on earnings. It is also an EPS and revenue guide higher for Q2. We go to full year. EPS guidance is $6.90. I'm sorry, they raised their full year guidance to $7.15 to $7.21. That's still, though, slightly under analyst expectations of $7.24. They also raised their 26 guidance to $41 billion to $41.3 billion. That is above analyst expectations of $40.8 billion. So this is a good earnings report. It's a good guide. They just fell a little bit short on the earnings per share on the full year guide, but a strong Q2 guide, a good guide also for the rest of the year revenue wise. Now let's take a look at the chart. Chart setup right now has you set up for an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder. And if you guys are just joining us, welcome. We are waiting for NVIDIA earnings. They usually come out around 20 after 4. It is not yet time for NVIDIA earnings. So we're talking about Salesforce first. There's your left shoulder. There's your head. There's your right shoulder. Here is your neckline. And that neckline lines up with also two major moving averages. That yellow line you see on my screen is the 200-day moving average. The purple pink line is the 100-day moving average. That is creating a zone of resistance in the mid 290s for Salesforce. That level needs to be cleared out in order for this stock to breathe. And you could be looking at a long above 295 that I think would have legs to 302 or 303. That would be the play that I would look for. I'm not looking to short Salesforce up here into this level, not after the decent earnings report that you just got. Okay, I'm more interested to see, does Mark Benioff, who's going to be interviewed by Jim Cramer later today, the conference call, does that get Salesforce above 295? There's a little bit of an overhang here on Salesforce because of the announcement about the acquisition that was announced just the other day that there was Informatica. I don't necessarily love the idea of that acquisition. Salesforce has kind of grown to have the their reputation of growth through acquisition rather than growth organically. I don't necessarily like that. They're not big enough. They're not old enough of a company to really go through and look at growth through acquisition rather than growth internally and organically. You'd still want to see them grow internally rather than go out and acquire companies. Like they acquired Slack a few years ago. Wasn't crazy about that acquisition either. They paid a real pretty penny for that. It was a pretty expensive price. It's yet to be seen if that's going to work out in the long run. But that is a little bit of an overhang. I would expect Mark Benioff, the CEO, to address that during the conference call. If he can say something about that acquisition during the conference call, maybe that could get Salesforce through 295. If Salesforce gets above 295 and tomorrow morning, and I'm giving you guys how I'm going to trade these things, I'm not going to look to short Salesforce. If Salesforce is under 295, we're not going to touch it tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow morning and Salesforce is north of 295, 297, 298, then right off the opening bell tomorrow, I'm going to look for a pullback at the 295. We'll take it long, and we'll look for that stock to pop above 300. My target would be 302, 303. We'll see if that situation sets up for us. We'll see if see if that sets up for us tomorrow. We also have AI just came out with earnings as well. This stock is trading higher, up around 13% on the day. Their earnings are a beat on earnings per share. They lost 16 cents a share. Analysts were expecting them to lose 20 cents a share, so they lost less than expected. Sales come in at 109 million. Analysts were expecting 108 million, so slightly better than expected earnings per share and slightly better than expected sales. They also announced that they are renewing and expanding the joint venture agreement that they have with Baker Hughes. That agreement is going to be extended through 2028. And that's the news that we have there for AI. Now, this is one stock I do not have in my long-term portfolio. And to be quite honest with you guys, I don't have any intentions of putting it in the long-term portfolio at this time. I am very, very, very long the AI play. But I'm long the AI play, not through actual ticker symbol AI. I'm long all the semiconductors. I'm long all the software names. I'm long some of the energy, some of the nuclear energy names, the data center names, cybersecurity. That is where I am invested in the long-term portfolio. That is where I'm overweight, and that's where I'm aggressive. I believe that those areas of the market are where the real significant growth is going to come from over the course of the next decade as we continue to build out, the AI revolution and everything else. I'm very bullish on that long term. My holdings, obviously, I own Nvidia. I own all the Mag 7. I own Palantir, Rubrik, Snowflake, Oracle, Cloudflare, Salesforce, ServiceNow, the IGV ETF, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Fortinet. These are all IBM. These are all names that I already own. And I just don't think that I don't think you need to go ahead and try to buy. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is when they look at how can I benefit from the AI boom? They went ahead and they found themselves investing into the really, really small companies like Big Bear AI or SoundHound or AI. And they did that because the stocks are cheaper. But they're cheaper for a reason. They're not high quality companies, at least not yet, not at this time. There's so much better ways to take advantage of this by going after these mature companies. It's not like the dot-com bubble. With the dot-com bubble, when the internet was first created, and you had this big boom in dot-com names, every one of those companies was young and immature and not yet profitable. You don't have to invest in high risk companies like that when it comes to AI. The biggest, most profitable companies in the world are at the forefront of this AI movement. You don't need to waste your time and your money trying to go after the $3, $4 piece of garbage that hopefully goes to $100 one day. Could one of them do that? Sure. What are the chances you're going to get that one right? very low. Instead, I think your money is much better spent in a lot of better places. All right, so here we are, guys, waiting for NVIDIA earnings, as we should be getting those NVIDIA earnings coming across the line now. Here we go. Oh boy, their data center revenue is actually a miss. So NVIDIA missed on data center revenue, $39.1 billion versus analyst expectations of $39.22 billion. Initial reaction is to the downside on that print, but you've got to look at what else we have. Earnings per share is also a miss, 81 cents versus 93 cents expected. So far, you're getting a little bit of a mixed reaction here. Very choppy movement here on NVIDIA after hours as these numbers are coming across and are being digested. But so far, it is a miss on data center revenue. It is a miss on earnings per share. That's a significant miss too, 81 cents versus 93 cents. Second quarter outlook reflects a loss in H20 revenue of $8 billion. Remember, we're looking at the restrictions that we have there with NVIDIA and the semiconductors being able to sell some of their chips into China. That'll be the higher end chips like the H100 and Blackwell. So Q1 revenue is a beat. Q1 revenue is a beat. Even though they missed on earnings per share, revenue comes in at $44.1 billion versus $43.29 billion, what was expected. Their adjusted gross margin was only 61%. Analysts were expecting 71%. As the stock is now actually trading higher. I need the guidance on the higher end chips. It's all I care about. I care about the Blackwell guidance on Blackwell. They were unable to ship and added 2.5 billion of H20s. The NVIDIA CEO says, here we go. Blackwell NVL72 AI supercomputer is in production. That's not what I wanted. I want the stats on the guidance for their high-end chips. They see Q2 sales 44.1 to 45.9 billion. Analysts expecting 45.78 billion. So mildly in line with expectations on the sales for the second quarter. We are trading higher right now, guys. Global demand for AI infrastructure. There it is. That's the comment. There's the comment right there that sent the stock higher. That's it. That's all that mattered. This is all that mattered. I talked to members into your trading group. I said, listen, forget about the actual earnings. What's going to matter is the demand for their high-end chips, specifically Blackwell. Okay. And you got a comment here from NVIDIA, quote, global demand for AI infrastructure is still incredibly strong, end quote. That sends NVIDIA higher. And when you have to look at this, when we look at this and NVIDIA kind of breaking out of this little bull flag here on the daily chart, I don't think you make a new all-time high on this move. I think that will be enough resistance up there around 150, those prior all-time highs. So I'm not quite sure how much more upside that you'll have here. I do think the stock will pause up there near those all-time highs. But that comment from NVIDIA should see a sympathy play across the board on a lot of other companies. If you say AI infrastructure is incredibly strong, what's a stock that we should look at as far as AI infrastructure? We should look at CoreWeave. Let's go. If I'm correct, CoreWeave should be moving higher. Let's go ahead and take a look at CoreWeave. Okay, there it is. There's a nice big pop on CoreWeave, up for $5 a share there on CoreWeave. Let's take a look. What's Broadcom doing? Broadcom popping also to the upside. Okay, so IBM, well, there's not much volume on IBM after hours, but you see that one, you can kind of see that. All right, just to take a quick check in on Salesforce. Salesforce fading just a little bit, but NVIDIA, that's the comment that sent NVIDIA higher. I don't think that this stock is going to just take this out. I don't. Okay, you have this all-time highs up here, up in this double top all-time high at 153. I do not think. First of all, that level is not in play right now. Okay. Right now, the level that you have to focus on that is your current resistance level. That is going to be like 143. That is in play. Maybe we can get there during the conference call, but I think it's more likely that NVIDIA probably, might pop on this earnings, pop on positive guidance, but then I think the stock pauses. I don't think you're going to get this massive follow through rally, and I don't think you're going to see this thing just really run. I think that we probably pop into this resistance level and then just take a little bit of a, I just think we just have to take a little bit of a pause there. Now, let's wait and see what happens during the conference call. The conference call is going to be very important. Jensen Huang is going to most likely talk about the demand for Blackwell. It's what every analyst cares about. It's what everybody wants to know. What we've seen in the last couple of quarters is companies like Nvidia, companies like Tesla, specifically, those stocks tend to, and Microsoft, because Microsoft actually gives guidance on their conference call. But companies like that, like Tesla, Nvidia, have a tendency to see their stocks move significantly during the conference call. What I think you need to pay attention to is what does Jensen Huang specifically say about the demand for Blackwell. Okay, that is what I think will dictate really where this stock ends up opening up tomorrow morning, and then how we're going to be able to trade this. A couple of other headlines I think that are important from this earnings is that Nvidia is forecasting an $8 billion loss in sales related to the restrictions selling into China. So if they're not able to sell those chips into China, they expect to lose around $8 billion in Q2. And that's why you're getting those numbers are a little bit weaker than expected. That $8 billion is right there. The CFO said that sales of the H20 products were $4.6 billion in that first quarter. Let's see, Q2 revenue is $45 billion plus or minus 2%. Analysts expecting 45.5. So it's an inline guide. It's really not that on the top line. When you take a look at these numbers, it's not that strong of an earnings report. It's not necessarily a bad report, but it's not that strong of a report. I think what it's going to come down to is what does Jensen Huang say about the Blackwell demand? That's what we have to be looking at. That's what I think is going to drive the price action of this stock. And if he even insinuates the slightest bit, okay, if he even insinuates in the slightest bit, I think you got to be careful that if he insinuates the slightest bit that the demand is not, really what it was. That's why I think it was important that they came out with that comment about AI infrastructure demand is incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. That's the word. That's the key phrase that I would focus on. So I think it's up to Jensen Huang to sell it. He's got to sell it on the conference call. Okay. He's got to sell it on the conference call. All right. That's got markets moving high. I mean, Nvidia moving higher. That's got, the comment there about AI infrastructure. That's got some tech names moving higher. And then honestly, it has the overall market moving higher. You got the Qs popped, the S&P popped a little bit on the back of that news, right? So that's that. All right. We'll wait and see what happens with the conference call. But for tomorrow, as far as, how we're going to look to trade this, depending on what happens on the conference call, we'll look for, I'll just give you the levels right now. But again, I'll come up with my full analysis after I see the results of the conference call and I hear what Jensen Huang has to say about Blackwell. But what we'll look for here is we're going to play this resistance at 143. We're going to look at support back against 137. And if we can sit inside of this range, if we open up tomorrow above 137, we'll look for pullback longs into the 137 area, which stops around 136, maybe 135.50. And then we'll look for an upside move that can take us into the low 140s. 143-ish resistance would be how I would look to play Nvidia if I get a strong report or a strong, conference call. That's how we're going to play Nvidia tomorrow. Now, you can also look, if you don't want to trade Nvidia, you can also look at some of the other companies that are going to be sympathy plays, like a Broadcom will be a sympathy play to this. You can look at some of the data center names, like CoreWeave has been in the middle of a massive short squeeze. I think that you have to be careful with Nvidia. With CoreWeave. I know we've been in the middle of this big short squeeze on CoreWeave, but the stock is getting a little extended. I think this is getting close to a top. I'm not calling a top, but I think it's getting close. The stock is starting to feel a bit extended, starting to feel a bit overbought. I'm looking for like an exhaustion gap. If I can get an exhaustion gap up, then that's going to be a situation I'm going to look to trade after. Rare says, you trade options or shares on this channel. So Rare, We don't trade on this channel. We trade inside of our platform, our community, which is True Trading Group. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. There's myself and 8 other professional traders that are mods that share our screens and trade in front of you live. We talk to you on the microphone throughout the whole day, give you our entries, our exits, and everything else. We trade options, and we trade equities, and we trade futures. So there's literally something for everybody here inside of True Trading Group. Whether you trade equities or you trade options, doesn't matter. We trade it all, and we also trade futures. We day trade and we swing trade. We also cover long-term portfolio investing. It's not just me, Rare. I'm the guy you see on this YouTube channel. I'm the head trader at True Trading Group, but there's also 8 other full-time professional traders that are mods at TTG. They all have different styles and all have different strategies that they share their trades with members throughout the course of the day. Okay. And listen, the reality is members of True Trading Group, they're killing it. We had a great day today. I know we would, 2 of the top ideas today were short GameStop, short Coinbase. Those 2 plays worked out very, very well for members. And with all the tools and resources that our members have at their disposal, our members are able to make money and our members are able to become better traders. And it's not just because I say that to be true. And you shouldn't just believe me because I say it on this live stream. I'm just a guy on a YouTube channel. You shouldn't just believe me. You should believe the members themselves. And I'll actually ask them. I think that's the best way for you guys to determine whether or not a trading community is legit or not. Let's actually find out if the people that are part of it are making money. Members of True Trading Group, do me a favor. Type the number 1 in chat right now. If you guys are making money, if you're becoming better traders because of TTG, type the number 1 inside chat right now. Just go ahead. Type the number 1 if you're making money. Anyone that's on this YouTube channel that's not a member, I know we have many. There's over 3,000 people watching this live. I know many of you are not members. You should pay attention to how many people you see type the number 1. These are members of True Trading Group. These are your friends, your family members, your coworkers. And if they can do this, so can you. They're not luckier than you. They sure as hell don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. So if 82% of our members have a full-time job and they're still sitting here telling you that they're making money and they're becoming better traders, then there's no reason why you can't do the same. You can't be in front of your computer all day long? No problem. Download our app. It's free when you're a member, and you guys will get to be connected to our chat room during the day. You get real-time push notifications sent to you when our mods enter and exit positions. That's how so many of our members are able to benefit and capitalize on what it is that we do throughout the course of the day. Okay? Yes, way to go. Rainbow Chaser says, I killed it on SPY puts at the close. I love to hear that. It is music to my ears. Yeah, but a great day inside of chat. Like I said, GameStop, all over that one for the short today. That was fantastic. 11% down. This thing was just an absolute bloodbath out of the gate. And then also Coinbase, a nice little rollover today. Actually took short. Our moderator, Shai, took short on this bounce back right up here into trade line, and then took that thing and wrote it down for about, $6. $6 or so to the downside. And I believe some of that position is actually already on. Way to go, Colton. Over 50% gain on GME puts, all on Mike's analysis. Well done, my man, Colton. You've been killing it lately, brother. Great job. Great job, my man, Colton. Well done. Over 50% gain on GME puts, all on Mike's analysis. I'd love to hear that. Love to hear that. I'm curious, how many people are on this live stream right now that are not members of True Trading Group? Guys, do me a favor. If you're not a member, type the letters TTG, please. If you're not a member, type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG if you guys are not members of True Trading Group. Listen, if enough people type TTG, if enough non-members are here, maybe I'll do something special for you guys. Go ahead and type TTG. I appreciate you guys being here, number 1, first and foremost. Alexander, Makoto, T, NP, Charles Patton, Simon, B. Chillin, Derek, Mike, way to go, Adam. Adam got a 200% gain today on the QQQ puts. Well done, my friend. The Bully Domain, Narayanan, Jason, Mike, NP, your first time here. Welcome, man. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. I go live multiple times throughout the week. We got Melissa, LaDonna, Daniel. A lot of new faces here. Way to go, Dawn. 100% gain on GME puts. I told you guys, this was one of the top trades of the day. Top trades of the day. We got Mike, Allen, Aileen, Durley, Golden State, you used to be a member. Golden State, brother, we got to get you back. We got to get you back. The family misses you. Golden State, if you used to be a member, I'm going to do you a solid. Send a text message right now. I'll do something real special for you since you used to be a member. 1-888-621-2127. Text that number right now. Golden State, as well as anybody else on here that used to be a member. Narayanan is also your first time here. Welcome. Jason Huber used to be a member as well, and you guys are still on these live streams. Send a text to that number right now. Jason, Golden State, anybody else used to be a member. You text that number right now. Say, hey, listen, I used to be a member. I'll do something real special for you guys. Text that number right now. Now, I also said I would do something special. Way to go, Chris. 200% gain on GME puts. You guys are starting to see. It, right? 200% gain there on GME puts. I love to see it. Now, guys, listen, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, everyone that's not a member, I do not have a 100% win rate. Okay? I am going to make losing trades. I'm a human being. I am right a hell of a lot more than I am wrong, but I also make losing trades. I don't have some special super top secret indicator. I don't have some special secret top or special super top secret chart pattern, okay, that has a 99.99% success rate. The moderators and I collectively as a group, like I said, it's myself and 8 other professional traders that are mods that send out trade alerts. Collectively as a group, we've maintained a win rate, a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80% now, roughly for the last 5 or 6 years. Okay. We track all of our entries, our take profits, our exits, all our green, all our red, all our break-even trades are on the website for you all to see. Okay. Every single transaction that we make. So you guys can see for yourself how you would be doing if you were following along with the executions of the trades that we make. Okay. We are fully transparent. We are a complete and total open book. All right. Okay. So NVIDIA actually moving to the upside. NVIDIA actually moving to the upside right now, guys, as we are starting to push. Again, remember, look for that. We're going to look for that tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to look for that 137 support level and then for a push to 143 target. So it's going to be 137 support longs, 143 target. Okay. That's 137 and 143. Those are the marks that we're focusing on for tomorrow. All right. All right. Jason, you have to text the word start. We can't respond to you unless you text the word start. Jason, you have to text us the word start and then we can reply to you. That's how you opt in to communicate with us. You have to text the word start. Otherwise, we can't just spam text message you. So Jason, just text us again. Just text us the word start. All right, brother. And then we can help you out. So I saw some other people that are asking, how can you join? Luis Maldonado says, TG, how you doing? I'm doing well, man. It was a good day. It's a good day. It's been a good, yesterday was a huge day. Thanks to SMR. And we're covering NVIDIA earnings. NVIDIA's trading right now back up at the highs at 140. Those of you that are not members, I told you I would do something special for you. And then we're going to go over some other trade ideas for tomorrow. Those of you that are not members, okay, let me explain what I'm going to do for you guys. The membership to join True Trading Group, normally it's a 1-year membership. It's an annual membership, okay? Way to go, Adam Salter is up 780% since last Wednesday. You know what? I'm actually not that surprised. We've had a lot of big wins. You had CoreWeave. You had SMR, right? We had MicroStrategy. We had United Health. United Health was a monster. MicroStrategy was a monster. SMR was a monster. When I say monster, I'm talking like 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1 type trades. So I'm not surprised there, Adam. Way to go, man. 780% since on your account since last Wednesday. That's incredible, man. Congratulations. But listen, those of you that are not members, instead of you guys getting locked in for a full year, okay, I want to give you guys a chance to come join True Trading Group for a short period of time. Check it out. See how you guys like trading with us. Get familiar with all the tools and resources. True Trading Group is a fintech platform. We are not just a chat room with trade alerts and courses. Yes, we have a chat room. Yes, we have trade alerts. Yes, we have courses. But we also have tools and resources that you guys can use to help you make more money. We have Benzinga Pro's real-time. These are included with your membership. Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed. TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Idea Scanner, unusual options activity, unusual options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. All of this stuff is included with your membership. You do not need to pay $1 extra for any of those things. You will also get access to our AI tool. Remember, our AI tool received the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. Okay, Joe, I know you want to put that picture up one more time for people. If you guys are looking for AI tools, there is none better. There's my business partner and I on stage receiving the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. Thousands of our members use that AI tool every single day to help them make money. You guys get access to that as well. So what I'm going to tell you guys here now, those of you that are not members, and there's many of you, and I appreciate you guys typing TTG. I appreciate you guys being here. No matter what, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. I do this almost every day, all week, so you guys can tune in and we can go over some trade ideas and positions that I'm getting into and positions that I'm in. Okay. But those of you that are not members, instead of joining for a full year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys join for 90 days for just $297. That's it. $297 for 90 days. Let's make some damn money together for 90 days. And then if you want to become an annual member, we can then take care of you for an annual membership. The 90-day membership does not automatically renew. The 90-day membership does not automatically upgrade you to an annual member. If after 90 days, you just do nothing, it just expires, you lose access to the platform, you're not charged anything ever again. If you decide you want to be an annual member after your 90 days, you have to physically and manually process that transaction yourself. And we'll credit you the $297 that you already paid. And then we'll give you guys, we'll let you guys, become an annual member for less than $1,000, and we'll credit you the $297 that you already paid. The way that it works when you join True Trading Group is we stand so firmly behind the platform that we've built, and we believe so strongly in its ability to help you guys reach your goals. Don't forget, we have over 10,000 members with a retention rate well into the 70s. Our refund rate is less than 2.5%. And when you guys join the annual membership, we actually offer you a double your money back guarantee. So let's say you paid $1,000 to become an annual member. If you can't make $1,000 back at least once during your membership, we'll give you back $2,000, not $1,000. The double your money back guarantee is right there on the checkout page. Go to ttgoffer.com. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. That is ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for 90 days for $297. And then when you become an annual member, very simple. Go through the courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. Do those three things. Take your time, go at your own pace. You have all year to do it. This double your money back guarantee is good for the year. It doesn't expire in 30 days or 14 days. You have the entire year to do this. If you go through our courses, pass the quizzes, attend the study group, and are still unable to make enough winning trades with us to equal the $1,000 that you'll pay for the annual membership, we'll give you back $2,000. That's the deal. Go read the double your money back guarantee. It's on the checkout page. Yes, it is real. John Mazurowski says, I've been a member for 4+ years. As a former teacher of almost 30 years, the education is exceptional. My biggest weakness was trading with emotions. This program solved that. The biggest plus is that they care. That's awesome, John. Thank you for the kind words, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Dawn says, you're worth it. Join, do the education, and prosper. I love that. I love that. You guys are worth it. You are worth it. So again, go to ttgoffer.com. I'll let the next 15 people that want to join TTG, I'll give you guys that 90 days for $297. You get all of our courses, the 22-course curriculum, which is a simplified version of what I learned working at the Fund in New York. You get the award-winning AI tool, Benzinga Pro's newsfeed, right? TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Idea Scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data. You get all of it. Everything on ttgoffer.com is included for $297 for 90 days. If you have any questions, text us. Okay, text us 1-888-621-2127. 1-888-621-2127. Yo, Aldi says greetings from Kenya. Aldi, what's up? Welcome. We actually have a couple of members actually from Kenya. I think we have 3 or 4 members actually in Kenya. We are a global community. We have members in 114 different countries. Okay. Why would dark pool data be useful? Rare, you do not strike me as a newbie from your comments from before. I feel like you are a more experienced trader. Do you know what dark pool data is? I'm not trying to sound like an ad. I'm being serious. Like, do you know what dark pool data is? When you say, why would dark pool data be useful? We also have level 3 data directly from the NASDAQ. I don't know if you know what level 3 data is. So we have a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ directly, where the NASDAQ provides us with a true level 3 feed. There isn't extra cost for the level 3 feed. We have to, there is a regulatory fee for level 3 data. That is not a fee that we are charging you. It is a regulatory fee mandated by FINRA that gets paid to the exchange by the user. So that's not something that we are just charging you for. Okay. You good? Isn't it large trades done in the background to prevent volatility, right? So yes, kind of. Rare. So dark pools is a private, dark pool is basically a private exchange where hedge funds and large financial institutions can conduct block trades, okay, outside of the regular market because the size of the positions are too large. So if you were to come in with like a 500,000 share block, you can go into a dark pool and there could be another financial institution that would block that trade out. They will take that instead of you trying to sell 500,000 shares in the market. And instead of the other side trying to buy 500,000 shares in the market, you can block it. Right? It shows you where a lot of that liquidity is and a lot of that dark pool data, where the dark pools and where those large orders are coming in. And that can help you identify pockets and areas of liquidity that you can base your trades around when you see where that movement is. Okay. And then you have level 3 data. Level 3 data it's an institutional feed. It's regulated actually by FINRA. And that basically identifies every single order that exists in the marketplace, not just level 2, which is just best bid, best offer for each market maker that's listed in the box. Level 3 will show you every order from every market maker, and it identifies the orders as either institutional or retail. So when you look at a level 2 feed and you see an order, you don't know if that's an institutional order, if that's a retail trader or anything like that. The level 3 feed that comes directly from NASDAQ actually identifies whether it's an institutional order or if it's a retail order. And that information also allows you the ability to say, okay, if I think this is a support level, then all of a sudden the level 3 data supports, hey, look, there's a lot of institutional bids that are sitting at this support level. It just further confirms your thought that this is a support level, and you can go ahead and you can structure your trade around that level, right? So there's a lot of benefits to these tools and resources. These are things that professional traders use that the average retail trader simply does not have access to. And it gives you an edge. It really does. It gives you an edge. It gives you an advantage. Okay. We got to welcome Saeed, Esteban, Lamont, and Alexis. Saeed, Esteban, Lamont, and Alexis. That means we're down to 11 of these spots. I'm doing this, guys. Okay. I'm doing this for you guys for the next 11 spots. Okay. For the next 11 spots. Saeed, Esteban, Lamont, Alexis, 11 spots now remain. 90 days. $297. You have every single one of you have all lost more than $297 following some stupid stock pick that somebody on Twitter gave you. Okay. And you have. 297, join a community of over 10,000 traders from 114 different countries. Angry Beaver wants to know if I'm going to talk about Nvidia or no. Angry Beaver, you are just that, an angry beaver. I already spoke in grave detail about Nvidia. It looks like you joined this live stream late. If you would like me to go back and actually review Nvidia again, then you can just simply ask. Next time, be on time. Does AI comes with your lifetime membership? Catraco, if you are interested, just send a text message and we can take care of it. If you're already a member, just send a text message and we can talk to you. We got to welcome Michael. Now there's only 10 spots left. So Michael, welcome to the family. 10 spots left, guys. That is ttgoffer.com. That is ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for 90 days for $297. You have the double your money back guarantee. text us with any questions. Now, Angry Beaver, let's go back and let's talk about NVIDIA. Let's go over a quick little update because we are trading higher. Sitting right up here near highs as we're going to get underway on that conference call. And we're going to be looking for, like I said, guys, 137, 137.50 for support tomorrow. And then resistance 143. Okay. I have the lines drawn out for you already. Here's support. And then here's going to be the resistance level that we're going to be looking for. If you clear out 143, your next resistance is going to be around 147.5. All right. I don't necessarily think we're going to get to 140. We're going to get that high. But I think 143 is a really good target for us for as early as tomorrow. All right. So that is NVIDIA. I think it's going to take a lot for NVIDIA to break the all-time high. But I do think that we can get up there and we can test it. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm talking about just in the near term. CoreWeave is moving higher. There we go, CoreWeave. There we go. Give me the squeeze. Squeeze it for an exhaustion gap. So what I'm looking for here on CoreWeave, I'm actually beginning to think about. I actually tried to short it the other day. It's really small size. I didn't get into a full size. I just kind of dipped my toes in the water to test it, see if it was ready. It wasn't ready. I got out of the trade. But I'm stalking this thing because eventually there's going to be a really great short on this CoreWeave. You just don't want to step in front of the front side squeeze. You want to wait for the backside weakness once momentum cracks. And right now that momentum has not yet cracked. One of the signals that I look for that I've done very well with over my career is shorting the end of a short squeeze that occurs from an exhaustion gap. And exhaustion gaps occur at the end of short squeezes sometimes. And it's when you have a stock goes parabolic and then has a large gap up after it goes parabolic. And that's the exhaustion move, where everybody that was short the stock, right? Everybody that was short, they've all covered. There's nobody left to cover. They were all margin called. It was cover at any price. It was a market order cover. You got this massive gap up. There's nobody left to cover their position. That large gap up triggers some profit taking, and that profit taking is met with nothing to the downside because all of your short sellers have already covered. Normally in a normal market environment, you have buyers, you have the people that are selling, taking profit, and then when a stock's moving higher. So when a stock's moving higher in a normal market environment, you have a balance between net buyers, net sellers that are just profit takers, but that's a passive form of selling, right? Profit taking is a passive form of selling. And then you have short sellers. The combination of short sellers and the passive profit takers, that makes your net sellers. Then you have the net buyer side, which is just the people that are going long. And that maintains a pretty orderly market. Yes, the stock still moves higher, but it's orderly. When a short squeeze happens, all of your short sellers become net buyers. They move to the other side of the market. They're no longer net sellers. They become net buyers. And when you add the net buyers from the short sellers with the net buyers of the people going long, it completely overwhelms the passive selling of people that are taking profit as the stock moves higher. That creates a very one-sided market that pushes the stock higher. Okay. Eventually, you get to a point, and as the stock moves higher, more people short it, and that fuels the short squeeze even further. Short squeezes usually go higher than anybody is initially anticipating, i.e. GameStop, right? They usually go higher than people are anticipating. But once the short sellers are no longer net buyers because they have covered their position, what then happens is your net buyers that were going long begin to take profit. So the net buyers that were long and they were net buyers the whole time, they now become net sellers. And then you lose the buying pressure from the short covering. They now are no longer net buyers. So when the profit taking kicks in on the massive gap up, there is nobody left to buy. And then you get this flush to the downside. That's why when you see short squeezes end, they end with a candle that looks like this. Right? How many times have you guys seen short squeezes end like this, right? That's what happens. That's why you get price action like that. I love exhaustion gaps on short squeezes. Again, you need the stock to go parabolic, right? You need it to go parabolic, and then you need it to gap up, right? You need to go parabolic and have a large gap up, and then you look for profit taking and the dump. All right. So I'm looking for that on CoreWeave. I'm looking for it on CoreWeave. We have not had it yet, but it is a trade idea that I am stalking. We got to welcome Terrence and Walter. Terrence and Walter, 8 spots left. 8 spots left now, guys, for the 90-day membership, $297. All right. $297, 90 days. TTGoffer.com. Everything on that page is included. Okay. Every single thing on that page is included for just $297. And then if you want to become an annual member afterwards, great. You'll unlock the double your money back guarantee. And what do you guys have to lose? If you can't make back your membership fee, we'll give you back double. You can't make it back at least one time during the membership, we'll give you guys double your money. That's the deal when you guys join True Trading Group. I know I talk a big game on this YouTube channel, but I back it up, and to prove to you how much I believe in the platform we've created, I offer you guys a double your money back guarantee. Our refund rate's less than 2.5%. So I don't mind doing it. If our refund rate was 15%, then I wouldn't be able to give you double your money back. But since it's less than 2.5%, I can and I will. And we do. All right. Any questions, text us. We're fully transparent. Anything you guys want to know. 1-888-621-2127. Again, 1-888-621-2127. There's that number, guys. Text that number. All right, guys. Now, this move in NVIDIA, it is taking the entire market up with it. Right? We are climbing. We're still right on the day, but we're well off the lows. Same thing on the Qs. The Qs are actually back into the green, and that makes sense, right? All your tech stocks and the AI names moving higher with NVIDIA. And the NASDAQ actually has gone back into the green on the day. We're still slightly red on the S&P, and we're red on the Dow. But the NASDAQ moving higher on the back of this NVIDIA move, and that's got stocks like Broadcom surging to the upside. AMD maybe not so much. Yeah, AMD is just kind of hanging out. Which Oracle? Oracle is moving higher. They talked about data center and AI infrastructure. Oracle big on AI infrastructure, right? Big on AI infrastructure. MU moving higher as well. Actually, one of our moderators, Shai, is actually in calls on MU. That's working out really, really well. It's going to be a trade that was going to print big time for members tomorrow. And you got NVIDIA. NVIDIA rocking. Taiwan Semi rocking. All your semiconductors, SOXL rocking. Right? Everything moving higher. Everything's moving higher right now, folks. Let's take a quick check back in on Salesforce. Back to the downside. Ooh. So there's the rejection, guys. We talked about that resistance level, right? Remember, if you guys were on the live stream when we first went live, Salesforce earnings came out first. We talked about this resistance level here at 295. There it is, man. Look at that. Almost right to the penny. Look at that. And now I didn't just randomly pick that number out of thin air, right? You guys will learn how to see this stuff. I mean, it's just a very obvious resistance level. It's the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders. And it is also the two major moving averages. There's the 100 days, the purple pink line, the 200 days, the yellow line, and they converge right here at this previous resistance, which is the neckline, to give you the resistance at 295. And then now you get the fade. So a little fade there off of 295. That's disappointing. If you break above 295 at some point, just set a price alert. Whether it happens in a week, in a month, in 3 months, we should be looking at that as a long setup if you were to ever get above 295. Not tomorrow, but eventually, if it gets above 295, that would be a pretty decent idea for a long. Yeah, MVTS. I think MVTS looks good. I think that stock actually has more legs. That was a big trade for members in True Trading Group yesterday. We didn't really trade it today, but yesterday that was a big name for us. I think that, the stock's moving higher right now, kind of a sympathy play, just getting dragged up with Nvidia. They had that news with Nvidia a couple of days ago or last week. And I think what history has told us, all of these other companies that have had deals or partnerships or investments from Nvidia, they've had legs. They have not been 1 or 2 day pump and dumps. They have gapped up. They have consolidated. They have extended higher. Not only for just a couple of days, but many of them for a couple of weeks, some even a couple of months. So I do think this NVTS has room. I have resistance on NVTS up around 850. We had resistance at 7.25. That was the target yesterday. Members took profit into the 7.25 move yesterday to exit that position. Now the consolidation, let it reset, maybe try to build a flag. A break of 7.25, 750 should give you about $1 more of upside to 850, then some more resistance at 9, and then 10, and then 11. I know that just sounds, I'm not just making that up because it's $1. That's literally where the price structure is. I'll show you guys on the chart. There was your 7.25. So this is, I'll just show you on the charts. There's your 7.25 price structure. You guys will learn how to read charts like this as a member of True Trading Group. I promise you. So if what I'm saying kind of is over your head, if what I'm showing you is I'm going too fast or you don't see it, I promise you guys will learn this stuff as a member. But here's your structure at 725. That was one resistance level. That was the target for the long yesterday. Members took profits into that 7.25 yesterday, right? It's not a coincidence we topped out there yesterday, right? Now, little consolidation, looks like it wants to move higher. You break out through 725, 7.25. Where's the next structure? Well, it's very clear actually on this chart. There's your 850, right? Here it is. There's your 850. Where's structure after that? There's a level right here at 9. Where's structure after that? There's your level there at 11. And there's a minor level there at 10, which leaves you with this kind of, these are your resistance levels. And these are all structure points. So basically what you do is if you're long NVTS, right? If you're long it, you just take profits as these levels are reached. That's it. That's it. You identify the levels, those are your profit targets. When you're long, you identify resistance, that is your profit target. When you're short, you identify support, that's your profit target. Guys, there's Nvidia actually getting to our target now of 143. All right, we're now 142.5. So here comes the target, 143. Again, if you're just joining us after earnings, we said our target was 143. And here is your 143 target coming into play right now. 142.68 coming off right now. New high, 69, 70, 72, 75. All right, so there is your target, 143. Just an incredible move there, pulling the whole market up with it. Core weave back to flat on the day. A lot of your data center, a lot of your AI infrastructure names are being pulled higher thanks to NVIDIA earnings. And the conference call is underway. The conference call did start, and it looks like we are ripping and roaring. All right. There it is. And there's 143. We just touched it. 143.11 now, moving higher. 143.12. So this is going to pull the whole market up with it, guys. Thank you, NVIDIA. Because the market's actually sold off into the close on the back of Trump restricting the chip design companies from selling their software into China. Now, listen, let me clarify that news because a lot of people don't understand this. That news is not necessarily about NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi and some of the others. Those are hardware companies. Those are manufacturers and hardware companies where other companies that sell software that design the chips. It's kind of like if you were to build a new home, you would get an architect to give you the blueprints and the design for the home, but then you need a general contractor to build the home, right? So what would happen was companies like Synopsys, companies like Cadence Design Systems, those are companies that have software that design those chips, like CDNS, right? That news came out, CDNS tanked, down 8.5% on the day. right? Synopsys, that news came out, tanked, down 9% on the day, right? So those are the companies that are most negatively impacted by the news that Trump said this afternoon, which was not being able to sell those design systems into China. There's your little resistance at 143. Again, we do not just randomly pick these numbers out of thin air. You see a little pullback there at 143 as the call is underway. I don't know what is being said on the conference call right now because I am with you guys. I'm not listening to the call. I'm not listening to the call right now, so I'm not sure exactly what is being said. But that call is underway, and we did get to that 143 resistance zone. Okay? So there you guys have it. All right? Great report there or great reaction, I should say, to the NVIDIA report. Not so great reaction to the Salesforce report. Okay? Yo, Canyon Ridge, what's up, man? I literally just had a one-on-one with Canyon Ridge today. Canyon Ridge and I, we do one-on-one mentor sessions with our lifetime members. So our lifetime members actually get individualized one-on-one coaching and mentoring from the moderators and I every year for life. And he was my one-on-one today. Canyon Ridge, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. We talked about some great stuff today. It was an awesome one-on-one. I really love doing the one-on-ones. You guys get to listen to me talk all day, every day. It's nice for me to talk to you guys and put a voice to a username and dive into your trading and figuring out what you're doing wrong and where we can make adjustments and working on things to fix, and watching you guys improve and watching your P&L improve is just unbelievable. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right. All right, folks. That's all she wrote. That does it. All right. Nice move here on NVIDIA. It's pulling all the rest of tech and AI related names up with it. That will be my focus for tomorrow. I'm going to go hang out and see what is going on with the NVIDIA conference call. If you are not a member of True Trading Group, do yourself a favor and go directly to ttgoffer.com now. There are only a couple of spots left. They're going quick. We have 8 of those spots now remaining. All right, that is 90 days. That is 90 days for just $297. If you become an annual member after your 90 days, you will unlock a double your money back guarantee where you guys will be able to get double your money back if you cannot make your membership fee back at least one time after going through the courses, passing the quizzes, and attending a study group. That is how confident I am in this platform's ability to help you reach your goals. Put my money where my mouth is. If you have any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, folks.